Brave Girls Bible Stories. This story is about Naaman's servant, a captive audience from 2 Kings chapter 5. This verse is from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. You are young, but do not let anyone treat you as if you were not important. Be an example to show the believers how they should live. Show them with your words, with the way you live, with your love, with your faith, and with your pure life. I like a good puzzle and love to figure things out. So last week, my parents and I sat down at the kitchen table to plan the schedule for our church's upcoming vacation Bible school. We were trying to decide how to organize all the teachers, rooms, and times so that lots and lots of kids would get to come. But after half an hour of trying, we still couldn't find an answer. We were getting really frustrated when my little sister, of all people, walked up to the table where we were talking. I didn't think she had been listening, but she put her hand on my arm and matter-of-factly asked, "Why don't you just ask God about it? He'll tell you what to do." Mom and Dad and I got really quiet because we realized my sister was showing a whole lot of smarts. Why hadn't we thought of that? My little sis totally reminded me of the servant girl in the story of Naaman. Naaman had a bad problem too and needed help. Just like my sister, his servant girl spoke up with an idea that saved the day. First of all, you have to understand a little more about this special servant girl. She was from Israel and should have been with her parents, but the king of Aram had attacked Israel, and his soldiers had stolen many of the people to make them their slaves. This little girl was one of the people taken away from her family and home to serve the Arameans. But God never left her side, and she didn't forget him either as she served Naaman's wife. Who was Naaman? He was the commander of the army that had attacked Israel. So when Naaman came down with leprosy, a horrible skin disease, the little girl could have said, "Serves you right, you big bully," but she didn't. Maybe she understood that God is always in charge and she wanted to honor him. So she told Naaman's wife about Elisha, the man of God in Israel who could heal Naaman. The wife told Naaman, and Naaman told the king about what this little girl said. Can you believe that her words influenced a commander and king? Well, they did. And Naaman traveled to Samaria for Elisha's help. Elijah sent a message through his servants, and he instructed Naaman to bathe in the Jordan River 7 times to become clean. Easy enough, right? But Naaman wasn't used to obeying orders. He liked calling the shots, and all that bathing sounded too, well, silly. His servants came to the rescue, urging him to be humble and obedient. Finally, Naaman listened, did what Elijah had told him to do, and was healed. Maybe Naaman realized he was a servant too of the God who held Naaman's life in his hands. Faith says, what would have happened to Naaman if the servant girl had kept quiet? Most likely he would have lived for a long time with a horrible disease. Then he might have died from it. By speaking up, that little servant girl probably saved a man's life. Do you ever feel like you are too young to have an impact in someone's life? The servant girl lets us know that age doesn't matter when God is with us. If he gives us a chance to tell others about him so they can know him better, then we need to be brave like the servant girl and like my sister and speak up. God is always with us, so our words have the power to bring hope to the people who hear them, no matter how young or old we are. Lord, no matter how young I am, help me to be brave and use my words to tell others about you. Amen.